guess at my place. Correct. Yeah.
No issue, ma'am. No issue, ma'am. Please don't mention.
You
No issue.
hardly get privacy. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, so as I told you, today we'll be starting with question types in listening. Okay, now we have already
Yeah.
gone through the listening format. We already know that there will be some conversations and then there will be some lectures. Now the conversations
Yes,
which
ma'am.
will be there, they will be between say office hours, where the student goes to the professor and then speaks
Yes,
to the
ma'am.
professor about say his project, his assignments, his research, or any other things as such. But of course most of the times it will be academic discussion. Okay, like there will be some
Yes,
discussion
ma'am.
which is for academic purpose. Okay, then
Yeah, ma'am.
uh, other types of conversation could be where the student is talking to, so like he's in service encounters. Okay, so basically he'll be talking to people who are on the campus, who are taking care of say the library, who are taking care of transportation, or say residential officer who is taking care of the hostel that he is staying in. Okay, so that's what they will be
Yes, ma'am.
mostly talking about. Okay, now
Yes, ma'am.
that would
Yeah,
be
ma'am.
in conversations. Okay, and as I told you, the
Yeah.
conversations will be mostly the campus conversations, they won't be external conversations as such. Okay,
Okay.
now along with that, the lectures that you will have, now the lectures will be a little longer. Okay, lectures will be a little
Yeah.
longer, but they will be academic lectures which you know about, and the topic might be anything which we are I'm going to show you the list of topics that you could get. But uh, the questions that will be asked, they will be from the lecture itself. Okay, you don't have to
Yeah.
use
Yeah,
your
ma'am.
own knowledge anywhere. It's fine if you do not know anything about the topics that I'll be showing you. Okay, the lectures will be little longer,
Yes, ma'am.
they could be between 5 minutes to 7 minutes. Okay,
Yeah, ma'am.
and
Yeah, ma'am.
there will be 6 questions followed by it. Yeah, now the topics, the broad topics will be say arts, life science, or physical science, or social science. Okay, and if we
Yes.
go into say in these topics, if we go in depth to be really specific, in arts the topics that you could get could be architecture, books, magazines, cave, rock art, city planning, crafts, then industrial design, literature, music, painting or painters, and photography. Then when we talk about life sciences, it could be about bacteria and microorganisms, it could be about chemistry, biochemistry, fish and aquatic organisms, habitats and the adaptation of animals, nutrition and its impact on the body, physiology of sensory organs, public health. Then when we talk about physical science, the topics could be astronomy, cosmology, chemistry, deserts, electromagnetic radiation, technology of TV, weather and atmosphere. There could be any topic from these. Okay, the reading passages that you
Yes,
get.
ma'am.
Now, the way I told you, you do not need to have any kind of knowledge about these topics as such. Whatever will be asked from the passage itself. But
Yeah.
you should know at least little bit, I would say. Even if you don't know the wordings, that's fine, but you should have that much understanding that okay, if you see one word, you should know what it is relating to. Okay, so that much
Yeah.
general knowledge should be there, I feel. So you can't be living under a rock, that becomes little difficult then. If you say that okay, you
Yeah.
come across some word and you don't know what it is, but still you should be able to infer what it means. Okay, for example, if I tell you commercialization of lumber, you should know what lumber means. Okay, if you don't know what lumber means, while you start listening, you should be able to grasp, because see, when they say lumber, they will be using other words also for lumber. For example, wood. Lumber is nothing but wood, correct? So they will
Yeah, ma'am.
use other words, so you should be able to grasp it. Now because you look at the title and you don't know what it means, do not get stuck because of that. That also happens with some students who are not very good with the language. Okay, so don't close your
Yeah,
mind
ma'am.
over there just because the topic that you have seen you are not sure about what it is. Don't get stuck over there. Okay,
Yeah, ma'am.
that is something very very important. Now next, from social sciences, this could be the topics that you could get. It could be media
Yeah.
broadcasting, it could be historical linguistics, it could be education, child development, any topic. Okay, now
Yes,
we'll
ma'am.
look at some question types. Now, overall, in listening, you have 8 question types. Okay, we are going to go through them one by one. We are not going to rush, we are
Yeah,
not
ma'am.
going to hurry. We need to understand these question types and we need to understand how to find answers for them. That is very, very important for us. Now, you know already that the questions that you get, they are multiple choice questions. Correct? Most of the
Yeah,
times,
ma'am.
there will be 4 options given and you have to select one correct answer. Sometimes you have to select 2 answers or 3 answers out of 5 choices also. So that's where you have to pay attention to the instruction. If you are asked to select 2 and you just select one, and even though that one is correct, you will not get a point over there. You will lose a
Yes,
point
ma'am.
over there. Okay, so both your
Yeah.
answers over here need to be selected and they need to be correct. That's when you will get a point for that particular question. Again, same goes for 3. Okay, you need to select all 3 and that's when you will get point, but usually you don't get 3 to select 3. You most of the times get to select 2. Sometimes you could get questions which are asking you to put events in order or steps in a process. Okay, sometimes they ask you to categorize something in a table or just tick mark what they are talking about. So that's where you will need
Yeah.
to pay attention to the lecture and you will also need to pay attention to the format of the lecture.
Okay.
Okay, like how the lecturer is putting forward the steps or the process or examples. You will need to make notes of it. Okay, that's also very, very important. Clear till now? I can't see you. Your camera is not on, Iftikhar, today. I'm not going to tell you every day, okay? Okay, moving ahead, we have first few questions which are your basic comprehension questions. In this, we are going to look at just purpose questions and
Yeah, ma'am.
just content questions. Okay, over here, first that we have is a just content question. Here, we have to try to
Okay, ma'am.
understand what is the overall lecture or the conversation is about. Okay, and this question you always get for all your 5 parts of it. You will always get this question. So once you note down the whole topic of whatever the lecture or the conversation is, your 1 point is sure over there. Okay, so here basically they are asking you what is the whole conversation about or what is the whole lecture about.
Yeah.
Okay, so over here, how do you recognize these types of questions? This will be your first question most of the times, but it will show you, it will ask you something like, what problem does the man have? What are the speakers mainly discussing? What is the main topic of the lecture? What is the lecture mainly about? So that is how we try to identify the topic. Okay, that is how we try to answer, like understand the question. And how to get the answer to this question, that we are going to practice when we start with our lessons. Okay, over there we practice in depth on how
Yes,
to
ma'am.
find the main topic of the lecture or the conversation, because as I told you, as soon as you try to answer this question, you get 1 point for sure. Okay, just note down these questions quickly.
Yeah.
Just give me 1 minute over here. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, ma'am.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, noted.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Now, just content question. They are asking you about the overall content of the lecture or the conversation. Over here, if you get confused, the best thing that you can do is eliminate the choices that you feel are only small portion of what you have just listened to. Okay, you need to understand the main. The conversations are pretty easy. The students will usually say, I want to discuss with you about the assignment, I want to discuss with you the research topic that I have selected. So over there you understand what is the conversation about. Even in lecture, okay, professor at the start of it, the way I also start, if you must have observed, any teacher when they start they will say, okay, today we are going to discuss about listening question types, correct? So that's where you understand the overall gist of it is that they are going to discuss about listening
Yeah, ma'am.
question types, correct? So you should be able to
Yes.
focus at that time. Now many times you could just lose attention at that particular time, and because of that you could get confused. Now because of this, don't get stuck. At the end of it, you will understand what the overall topic was about. For example, say if someone joins right now and he sees that, okay, we are discussing just content questions, and after this we'll be discussing just purpose questions. So of course he or she will understand that we are discussing listening question types, correct? So even if you miss on that point at the start of the lecture, it's fine. When the options come up on your screen, you will still understand what they are talking about. Okay, so you will get this question. Don't get stuck
Yes, ma'am.
because of it, because many students, what happens is, as they know the this assures one point, they get stuck on this question and don't make notes about
Yes, ma'am.
anything else. So that should
Yes.
also not happen. Okay, now next, which is similar to just content question, we have just purpose question. Just purpose question is similar to what we looked at right now. It's just called just purpose question,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
it will ask you, instead of what, it will
Yes, ma'am.
ask you why does the student visit the professor, why does the student visit the registrar's office, why did the professor ask to see the student, why does the professor explain this. That is how the questions would be. So here they are asking you the purpose behind what the student or the professor is doing. Okay, that's the main thing. Now say students visit professors during office hours for various reasons. There could be cases such as the professor wants to invite a student in to discuss the student's performance on an assignment. And to answer the just purpose question, you will look in your notes for information that identifies the reason why the student visited the professor in the first place. Okay, the purpose of the conversation will not always be related to the main topic
Yeah.
also.
Yes, ma'am.
That is also you need to remember. A student might visit her professor for the purpose of asking the question about the professor's grading policy. That could also be one scenario. Okay, while answering this question,
Yes.
the student might spontaneously ask the professor might spontaneously ask how the
Yes, ma'am.
student is progressing on a research project. And the main thing that you need to understand over here is that many times the students and the professor, when they're in a conversation, they might digress from what they're actually talking about. Okay, for example, we started the lecture, we discussed about the uh, confirmation of the sessions, correct? So we met for
Yes.
listening question types, but we started
Yes,
with
ma'am.
something else, correct? So that is where you do not get, these are called distractors, you do not get distracted by these distractors. That is also very very important. There will be a lot of things that the professor and the students will discuss which are not the main topics. Okay, so that's where you will need to make a note of it properly. Understood? Now here we are going to listen to, like, we are going to watch a video and we are going to do one listening question type over here. Okay, you have to try to answer the questions after listening to the audio. Yeah, ready? Don't forget to make notes.
Hi, I'm Michael from ETS. Today on Inside the TOEFL Test, we're going inside the TOEFL IBT listening section, specifically the gist content and gist purpose questions.
It's audible to you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
The gist of something is the main point or key idea. In the TOEFL IBT test, gist content questions ask you to identify the main topic or idea of the listening conversation or lecture. Gist purpose questions ask you to identify what the main purpose of the conversation or lecture is. You can recognize gist content and gist purpose questions because they use phrases like mainly about, mainly discussing, why does the student, or what is the main purpose. Here are two things to keep in mind when answering gist content and gist purpose questions. In the listening section, there will always be either a gist content question or a gist purpose question, but never both. This question will always be the first question after listening to the passage. Also, sometimes the lectures and conversations can have two main ideas. In this case, the gist content or gist purpose question may ask you to choose two of the four answer options instead of just one. Let's look at some sample gist content and gist purpose questions. First, we'll listen to part of a conversation between a coach and a student, catching up on what happened while the student was away.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hey, Coach. I just thought I'd stop by to see what I missed while I was gone.
Well, we've been working real hard on our plan for the next game. I've asked Susan to go over it with you before practice this afternoon, so you'll know what we're doing.
Okay.
By the way, how did your brother's wedding go?
Oh, it was beautiful. And the whole family was there. I saw aunts and uncles and cousins I hadn't seen in years.
So it was worth the trip.
Oh, definitely. I'm sorry I had to miss practice, though. I feel bad about that.
Family's very important.
Yep. Okay, I guess I'll see you this afternoon at practice then.
Just a minute. There are a couple of other things I need to tell you.
Oh, okay.
First, everybody's getting a new team jacket.
Wow, how'd that happen?
A woman who played here about 25 years ago came through town a few weeks ago and saw a game and said she wanted to do something for the team, so...
So she's buying us new jackets?
Yep.
Wow, that's really nice of her.
Yes, it is. It's great that former players still care so much about our school and our basketball program. Anyway, you need to fill out an order form. I'll give it to you now so you can bring it back this afternoon. I've got the forms from the other players, so as soon as I get yours, we can order. Maybe we'll have the jackets by the next game.
Okay.
Great. And the next thing is, you know Mary's transferring to another college next week. So we'll need someone to take over her role as captain for the second half of the season. And the other players unanimously picked you to take over as captain when Mary leaves.
Wow. I saw everybody this morning and nobody said a word.
They wanted me to tell you. So, do you accept?
Of course.
So an example of a gist content question for this passage is, what are the speakers mainly discussing? And an example of a gist purpose question is, why does the student go to...
Try to answer this.
Yeah, ma'am.
Answered? Okay. Try to answer this also. It will be similar,
Yes, sir.
but still try answering.
To say 7. Okay, sure. I'll say sorry.
Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Done?
I'm
Yes, one second. Now? let's
speakers
check.
mainly discussing? And an example of a gist purpose question is, why does the student go to see the coach? Whichever question is asked, you can figure out the answer by focusing on the main point of the conversation or lecture. The female student tells us her reason for going to see the coach in the early part of the conversation when she says this.
I just thought I'd stop by to see what I missed while I was gone.
That tells us both
Did you understand where to find the answer?
the main idea of the conversation and why she went to see the coach. So for both questions, the best
Okay, we'll wait.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, hello. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
What happened? Facing some network issue?
Yeah, ma'am. Still started, but now it's okay, ma'am. Signals are okay now.
Okay, okay. Check your answer. Is it correct?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, great.
Best answer is C. Here's a tip for improving your listening skills. Listen to academic lectures in English as much as possible. Be sure to listen to lectures in various subject areas: science, social science, business, arts, literature. You can search online for universities that post their lectures for free. Start with short lectures on topics you are familiar with, then build up to longer ones on topics that are not familiar to you. Listen to the same lecture multiple times if you need to. There are lots of ways to improve your English skills. Whatever you do, keep practicing. And good luck on your TOEFL test.
Okay, understood?
Yes, ma'am.
1 second. Next, we have detailed questions. Okay, now this question, of course, as the title says, it asks you for details which are being mentioned. Now, will it ask you for minor details? No, it will ask you for major details which are explicitly mentioned in the passage, in the listening passage. Okay, these will be the
Yeah, ma'am.
kind of facts which are mentioned in the listening passage. They will be mentioned directly or sometimes indirectly. Okay, and your lecturer will provide examples, elaboration based on this. Okay, in some cases, whenever there is a long digression, that means whenever you are listening to a lecture and say professor might just deviate from the main topic and he might be explaining an example which is not very important to the topic as such, but you will still be asked about that topic, okay, which he has digressed from. So make sure you make note of it also. Yep, it
Yeah,
is
ma'am.
very,
Yeah.
very important in this part. Now, how to recognize our detailed questions? It would look something like this. According to the professor, what is one way that X can affect Y? What is X? What resulted from the invention of the particular topic? According to the professor, what is the main problem with the dash dash theory? That's how your questions will be given. Now, when you make notes, of course, you'll try to refer to your notes when you are answering. Okay, you will not be asked about the minor points. As I told you, they won't ask you which year it happened, they will ask you major points over there. They will ask you why it happened instead of it. Okay, your notes should
Yes,
be
ma'am.
about the major details of the conversation in the lecture. You don't need to remember the minor details like years or which place it had happened. Okay, do not choose an answer because you feel that okay, some of these words that you are seeing in the options were mentioned in the conversation or the lecture. Of course, all the options that you will see, they will be mentioned in the lecture or the conversation. Okay, but
Yes.
they will be
Yes.
little different than what the actual answer is supposed to be. Okay, so that's where you look at the answer and you try to answer the question directly. Okay, because if you look at the
Yes.
options, then you happen to get confused. So make sure you focus more on the question and try to answer that question directly instead of looking at the options. If you're getting confused, the options which do not cater to the answer, which do not cater to the question, try to eliminate them. That becomes better. Okay,
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
that's what you will do. Now let's look at the video and try to do one question which will be displayed over there. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Michael from ETS. Today on Inside the TOEFL Test, we're going inside the TOEFL IBT listening section, specifically the detailed questions. Detail questions are probably the most straightforward of all the listening question types. They will ask you to remember specific facts about the lecture or conversation. You can recognize detailed questions because they include phrases like according to and what is in the question. Detailed questions will always ask about an important conceptual detail. You will not be expected to memorize trivial details, such as whether something happened in 1977 or 1978. The answer to a detailed question will always be explicitly stated in the listening conversation or lecture. Now let's look at a sample detail question. First, here's an excerpt from a conversation between a coach and a student who are catching up on what happened while the student was away.
Okay, I guess I'll see you this afternoon at practice then.
Just a minute. There are a couple of other things I need to tell you.
Oh, okay.
First, everybody's getting a new team jacket.
Wow, how'd that happen?
A woman who played here about 25 years ago came through town a few weeks ago and saw a game and said she wanted to do something for the team. So
she's buying us new jackets?
Yep.
Wow, that's really nice of her.
An example of a detailed question is, who is buying new jackets for the team? Again, a detailed question will always be a fact that is directly
Try to answer this question.
Yeah, man. C, yes, man. A former player.
Very good.
stated in the listening passage. The coach explicitly tells the woman that a former player is the one who is buying the team new jackets, which makes option C the correct answer. Here's a tip to help you practice recognizing important details in a conversation or lecture. Find a friend or study partner and listen to a short audio clip. When it's finished, each of you write down as much as you can remember. Then compare notes to see who remembered more of the important points and supporting details. There are lots of ways to improve.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yes,
for
ma'am.
today we are going to stop over here. We are going to discuss further questions types in the question types in the next few sessions that we have. Now, I wanted to ask you this: are Saturdays working for you, or are they a holiday?
No, Sunday from Sunday to holiday. Yesterday is okay, ma'am. I'm free here.
Saturday is a working day for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So tomorrow we might not have a session. Okay. On Sunday, if
Okay, ma'am.
possible, I'll take a session for you. Monday will of course be a holiday. Okay. Because it's
Yeah,
Eid,
yeah.
right? Yes, it's Eid.
Yeah,
So
yes, ma'am.
even
Yeah,
in India, it's a holiday. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
ma'am.
Sunday, I'm a little not sure about the session, but I will still, of course, message you and update you about it because Sunday is a festival for us over here. Okay, in India, we
Okay,
have our
ma'am. Yeah,
Maharashtrians festival on Sunday. So I'm not
yeah.
sure if I'll be able to take a session. I'll try my best. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Usually our
Yeah,
sessions are from Monday to Saturday, but tomorrow I have a commitment. So that's the reason I asked you whether you're available in the evening. If you were available, I would have taken it in the evening. In the morning, at least, it's not
okay,
possible
ma'am.
for me. Okay. But I'll try to
Okay,
coordinate
no
on a
problem. Yeah.
Saturday or next week. We'll try next week then, if not possible on Sunday. Okay.
No issues, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. Ma'am,
But
in case if you if yeah, ma'am, in case if you are available on the Sunday, so Sunday, ma'am, take time. Would be better afternoon because I will be on the duty on
mm-hmm.
Sunday. If it is Eid, then up to 5 I will be on the duty, and if it is not Eid, then up to 2 evening afternoon I
I'll
will be
message you.
on
I'll
the duty.
message you. You'll update
Yeah.
me your
Okay.
timings because Sundays I don't have many classes on Sundays. Okay. On
Yeah,
Saturdays
that's
also
fine.
I have only few sessions. So I'm
Yeah, ma'am.
keeping it on Sunday, right? So Sunday I won't have any sessions. So I'll update you accordingly.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
keep it early afternoon for you, a little late afternoon for me then. Okay. And
Yeah. Yeah.
do confirm 1 hour before, as I told you, and don't
Yeah. Yeah.
message at the last
Yeah,
minute. That
ma'am.
is
I
better
will
for
do it.
me.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
something
That's
that I
right.
wanted to mention. And while you confirm, don't
Yeah.
mention the time because the other students are Indian. Okay, they might get confused with the timings.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
they
a
will
tricky.
be. Yeah, that's a tricky one. That's the reason I don't put time in my message. Usually, I put time in
Yes.
my message that please confirm the class at 12 p.m. It's 12 p.m. for us
Uh-huh.
over here. But for your class, I don't put a timing because
Yes.
others, like you could get confused because of it. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
something. Yeah.
And
Okay.
I got
Because
it.
not
Got it.
everyone knows where you are from. We have not talked to everyone yet, correct? That's the thing.
Yeah, yeah, ma'am. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
And
no
one thing,
problem.
yeah, ma'am. And
Yeah,
ma'am,
yeah,
one,
please tell me.
one thing, ma'am. If you have a time, please can you send this, ma'am, anytime the feedback of these writings I sent you today
I
and
will.
yesterday.
I will do that today. Yesterday was a bit
Yeah,
hectic, but today I will send it. Okay,
yeah,
don't worry. Yeah.
yeah. Sure,
Yeah.
ma'am, sure. Okay. Yeah, ma'am,
Okay.
okay.
Chalo, take
Thank you,
care
ma'am. Thank
and
you.
happy Eid in
You
advance.
too. Yeah, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Happy. You have to say,
It's a new year.
congratulations for your event tomorrow.
It's a
Yes,
new
okay,
year for
okay.
us. Yes. Maharashtra New Year.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Thank you.